Chosen one, I want to start here. Most people will never know what you carry. That is not a complaint about the people in your life. It is a statement about the nature of what you carry and the season you carry it in. The things the chosen one holds during the formation are not visible to the outside world. They are not audible in ordinary conversation. They are interior. And because they are interior, the people who love you and are closest to you often cannot see them. But God knows. I want to stay with those two words for a moment before I move into the fullness of what I want to say, because those two words carry something specific that the chosen one who has been in an extended formation season needs to receive, not just as a spiritual phrase, but as a concrete reality about the actual structure of their experience. God knows what you carry, not in the general sense that God knows all things, in the specific sense that God has direct, complete, detailed access to the interior of what you have been holding, how long you have been holding it, what it has cost you to hold it, the specific moments where the holding was hardest, and what the weight of carrying something that no one else can see has extracted from you across the full length of the formation season. That knowing is not passive. It is not the knowledge of a distant observer who sees the general outline of your situation. It is the active, engaged, fully present knowledge of the one who was with you in every single day of the season, who was there in the mornings where the weight was heaviest, and in the evenings where faith was thin, and in the specific moments where you had to make the interior decision one more time to continue carrying what God placed in you. He was there. He saw it. And what he saw confirmed something that I want to speak to you about directly. He saw the chosen one. Not the struggle, not the difficulty, not the weight of the season. He saw you. He saw what you carry and how you carry it and who you are in the act of carrying it. And what he saw is the person he called prepared, and is now positioning for the thing he placed the call in you for. Type seen in the comments if that landed somewhere real in you. Let me speak to something about the specific kind of invisibility that the chosen one in the formation season experiences, because I think it is one of the most under-addressed dimensions of the chosen one journey. Invisible carrying produces a specific kind of interior experience. It is not simply that no one knows. It is the daily experience of navigating a world where the most significant thing about your interior life is also the thing that is least visible to the people you interact with. God sees the current, not just the surface, the full depth of what is moving in you below the visible layer. And that seeing is not neutral. It is the seeing of the one who placed the current in you, who designed it for a specific purpose, who knows exactly what it is and where it is going and what it is producing in you as it runs, and who is actively engaged with it in ways that are not always visible from inside the experience of carrying it. I want to speak to what most people will never know about the chosen one in the formation season, because I think naming it is a form of honoring it. And the chosen one whose interior experience has been largely invisible to the outside world deserves to have it named and honored before this message is over. Most people will never know the specific discipline it required to keep carrying the call in the seasons where it produced nothing visible. The daily decision to believe in something that had no external confirmation. The particular quality of faithfulness that shows up not in dramatic moments, but in the ordinary moments where the chosen one continues to hold the interior, knowing against the pressure of an exterior world that offers no evidence for it. Most people will never know the specific loneliness of that carrying. Not the loneliness of social isolation. The loneliness of being the only person in the room who knows what you know and carries what you carry. The loneliness of sitting across from someone you love and being unable to fully communicate the weight and the nature and the specific shape of what you are holding, not because you lack words, but because the thing itself is not yet visible enough to give words to. Most people will never know the cost of the formation season, the things that were not pursued because the call required a different direction. the years that were invested in something that has not yet visibly returned, the sustained weight of carrying something across a timeline that extended further than you expected. The specific interior toll of holding on when holding on was the most difficult thing available to you. Most people will never know the quality of the faith that the Chosen One exercises during the formation season, because the faith of the formation season is not the faith that is sung about in gathered communities or celebrated in testimony services. It is a quieter, harder, more interior faith. The faith that does not have an audience. The faith that exists in the private moments where the Chosen One decides one more time that what God placed in them is real and they are going to continue holding it. God knows that faith. He was the witness of every single moment of it, and the value he places on it is not diminished by the fact that no one else saw it. The faith that the Chosen One exercises in private, in the ordinary moments of the formation season, is among the most precious things in the sacred record. And God has seen all of it, all of yours. Most people will never know what you carry. And there is something I want to say about that specifically. The fact that most people will never know is not a failure of communication or a failure of the people in your life. It is the nature of the formation season. The call is kept interior during the formation because the exterior is not yet ready to receive it. The hiddenness is not a deficiency. It is a design feature. The thing that is carried in the interior during the formation season is being shaped for a specific external expression that requires the interior carrying. And the hiddenness is part of what keeps the shaping accurate, which means the invisibility you have experienced during the formation season was not a mistake. It was not a sign that what you carry is not real or not significant. It was the design of the season itself. The call was kept interior so that the interior could complete its formation. And God, who designed that hiddenness, knows exactly what was in it. He saw every hidden day. He honored every unseen act of faithfulness, and he is bringing all of it forward now into the visibility that the arrival season opens. God knows you are the one. That is the declaration I want to place in front of you before we move to the next part of this message. Not that God thinks you might be the one, or that you seem promising as a candidate. He knows with the completeness of the one who designed the call, placed it in you, shaped you through the formation season, and has been present in every day of the carrying. He knows you are the one who is prepared for what is about to open. He knows it with certainty, and what God knows with certainty is the ground the Chosen One stands on. Type known in the comments if this is landing for you. Type known if what I described about the invisible carrying is something you recognize from the inside. The link is in the description and the pinned comment below. There is a Chosen One in a hidden day right now, somewhere in a formation season that has extended longer than they expected, who has not yet heard what you just received. They are in the specific loneliness of carrying something that no one around them can see, and they have not yet been told that God sees every hidden day of it. What you plant through that link travels toward that person, not to a channel, into the invisibility of their current season, in the voice they need at the exact moment when carrying alone is hardest. God was in every hidden day of yours. Let your seed be part of how he reaches them in one of theirs. Let me go deeper into something about the formation season that I want the Chosen One to fully understand, because there is a dimension of what most people will never know that I have not yet named, and it has to do with the specific interior life of the Chosen One during the extended formation. The Chosen One, in the formation season, lives in two realities simultaneously. There is the exterior reality of where they currently are, the job, the relationships, the daily circumstances, the visible external situation. And there is the interior reality of what they carry, the call, the vision, the specific knowing of what they were made for. These two realities do not always align, and the sustained experience of inhabiting both simultaneously, of navigating the exterior world while carrying the interior, knowing produces a specific kind of interior richness that the people around the Chosen One cannot see. The interior life of the Chosen One during the formation season is not impoverished. It is actually among the most active and complex and rich interior experiences available to a human person. The sustained engagement with a call, the constant work of maintaining faith without external confirmation, the daily interior negotiation between the knowing and the not yet, the specific quality of attentiveness that develops when you are watching for God in ordinary circumstances because you know He is present and moving. All of this produces an interior life of extraordinary depth. Most people will never know that richness. They will not see it because it does not express itself visibly in the formation season. It is interior, but it is real, and it is part of what the formation season was building in you. Not just resilience and conviction, the specific quality of interior depth that the assignment that is opening will draw on and express through you. Let me also speak to the people who tried to see what you carry during the formation season, who asked the right questions and listened carefully and wanted to understand. Most of them got a partial version, not because you withheld it deliberately, but because what you carry is not fully articulable at the interior stage. The fullest expression of what you carry requires the exterior expression that the arrival season opens. But the people who tried to see, who leaned in and listened and honored what they could perceive of what you were carrying, were honoring something real, and they were positioned in your life by God for the formation season you were in. The partial thing they honored during the formation will have a more visible form in the arrival, and the honor they gave to the invisible version will be confirmed by the visible version that the arrival season makes possible. I want to dig into something now about the nature of what God knows when He knows you are the one, because I think the Chosen One sometimes hears a declaration like that and receives it in the general sense as an encouragement, as a warm spiritual affirmation, without fully receiving the specific and structural weight of what it actually means. When God knows you are the one, He is not speaking about your potential. He is not speaking about what you could become with the right opportunities or the right circumstances. He is speaking about what you are now. The version of you that went through the formation season, the version that held the invisible call through the extended months and years of the carrying. That version, the one that is present in this moment, is the one God knows you are. God does not want you at arm's length from your own identity. He wants you to receive the full weight of who you are now in this moment before the external evidence arrives, because the arrival of the external evidence does not make you the one. It reveals what God has known since before the formation season began. You were the one before the formation. You will be the one in the formation. You will be the one when the arrival season opens. The external evidence does not create the identity. It confirms what was always true. Receive the identity now, not as a performance, not as a declaration that you are special in a self-aggrandizing way, as the simple factual reception of what God placed in you when He chose you, and what the formation season produced in you when it shaped you. You are the one God prepared for what is now opening. That is not an aspiration. It is a present reality, and God wants you to stand in it as a present reality rather than a future possibility. Let me speak to what the formation produced in the Chosen One specifically, because I want to name it with precision rather than generality. The formation season is not a generic trial that builds generic character in a generic person. It is a specific construction process that builds specific qualities in a specific person for a specific assignment. And what the formation built in you is not interchangeable with what it built in someone else. It is particular, it is yours, and it is exactly what the specific assignment that is opening for you requires. What did the formation build? It built a particular quality of settled knowing. The Chosen One who carried something invisible for an extended period of time against the sustained pressure of a world that could not see it has a quality of interior, knowing that cannot be manufactured by a shorter or easier experience. They know what they know without requiring external confirmation to maintain the knowing. That quality, that settled, unshakable interior knowledge that does not need an audience or evidence to remain intact. It built a particular quality of resilience. Not the resilience that is performance, the willingness to appear strong in difficult circumstances. The resilience that is simply the trained capacity to continue carrying what God placed in you when the carrying is hard. The chosen one who has sustained the carrying through the full length of the formation season has that capacity in a way that a person who has not been through the formation does not. And the assignment that is opening requires that capacity precisely because it will make demands on the one who carries it that require resilience that is real rather than performed. It built a particular quality of compassion. The chosen one who has been in the formation season, who knows the weight of invisible carrying, who has endured the specific loneliness of carrying something that no one else can see, has access to a level of compassion for others, who carry invisible things that cannot be acquired without having carried one. The assignment that is opening for the chosen one will bring them into proximity with people who carry things no one else can see. And the quality of compassion built in the chosen one by the formation season is the specific quality those people need. It built a particular depth of wisdom. The chosen one who carried something through the formation season did not only endure, they learned. They developed a particular quality of wisdom about the nature of the chosen one journey, about the structure of formation seasons, about the way God works in hiddenness and silence and extended waiting. That wisdom is not theoretical. It is experiential, and the assignment that is opening is an assignment that requires wisdom that has been earned in exactly this way. Type 333 in the comments. 4 things were just named that the formation built in you. Let that number be your agreement that you recognize every one of them from the inside. Let me speak to one more dimension of what God sees when he looks at the chosen one. In this moment, because I want to speak to something that the chosen one sometimes finds difficult to receive. God sees your faithfulness as something precious, not as your moral obligation, not as the expected output of a person who claims to believe, as something he genuinely values and honors. The chosen one sometimes struggles to receive the idea that their ordinary faithfulness, the daily decisions to continue in the formation season, without dramatic evidence or visible reward, is something God finds precious. It can feel like ordinary faithfulness is just the baseline, just what you are supposed to do. The faithfulness that sustains through the extended ordinary, through the days where there is nothing dramatic happening, and the chosen one simply continues because they continue, is a form of faithfulness that God honors with specific attention. He does not take it for granted. He does not receive it as obligatory. He receives it as the offering it is, and he honors the chosen one who offered it. Type faithful in the comments if the formation season required that of you. The quiet kind, the kind that had no audience. The link is in the pinned comment below. What you release from this moment does not go unreturned. A seed planted by someone who has just been told that their quiet faithfulness is received not as obligation, but as a genuine offering carries a weight that an act of duty does not. The God who just told you he honors that offering responds to the seed that rises from the same place. Bring with you the specific thing you have been carrying the longest in the formation, the one that has produced nothing visible yet. Let the seed carry it. The same hand that receives your faithfulness as an offering is the hand that meets what you plant from that place. Most people will never know what you carry, but God knows you are the one. And in that knowing, everything about the formation season, every unseen day, every invisible decision, every private moment of faithfulness is fully seen and fully honored. Let me speak to a specific dimension of the identity that God declares when he knows you are the one. Because the identity of the chosen one is not only about what they do or what they produce or what they accomplish. It is about who they are in the carrying. The chosen one who carried something invisible through the formation season is not defined only by what they carried, They are defined by who they were in the act of carrying it, and God sees that with complete clarity. He sees the chosen one who held the call with dignity when no one else could see it. The chosen one who maintained the interior conviction without needing external validation. The chosen one who served faithfully in the present reality while holding the future calling that had not yet arrived. The chosen one who gave generously from what they had while the fullness of what they were called to was still in formation. That person, the one who was all of those things in the formation season, without an audience and without external reward, is the one God declares as the one. And the declaration is not only about what you will do in the arrival season, it is about who you have been throughout the whole journey. The whole journey, including the parts most people will never know. I want to speak to the chosen one who has received this declaration before and has received it more easily in the excitement of a particular moment than in the ordinary days of the formation season. The chosen one who felt the full weight of being the one in a powerful worship experience or at the end of a significant message, and then returned to the ordinary day and found the declaration harder to hold. That experience is not weakness. It is the experience of a declaration that is asking to become foundational rather than momentary. The declaration God makes over the chosen one is not designed to produce momentary experiences of identity. It is designed to become the ground the chosen one stands on continuously, and the work of moving from momentary reception to foundational standing is exactly the work that the formation season facilitates through its ordinary days. The ordinary days of the formation season, the days where there is nothing dramatic, and the chosen one simply continues carrying what God placed in them, are the days where the declaration most deeply becomes foundational. Because in those days the declaration is not carried by the energy of a moment. It is carried by the settled, unshakable knowing that this is simply true. God knows you are the one, not just in the powerful moments, in all of the ordinary ones too. Type 1111 in the comments. Let it be your declaration that you are receiving this as ground, not as a moment, chosen one. We are in the sacred space now, the place in this message where everything I have built comes together in a single moment of release and declaration. And before I enter the releasing, I want to name what I am grateful for with the same care I named everything else. I am grateful that you stayed with this message. I am grateful that the word reached you. I am grateful for the chosen one who has been carrying something that most people will never know, who found a message that named it, and who stayed to receive what the naming was meant to release. I am grateful for the formation season, not because the difficulty was good in itself, because of what it produced. The version of you that is in this moment, having carried the invisible thing through the full length of the formation, is different from the version that began the journey. More complete, more settled, more specifically, equipped for what the assignment that is now opening requires. The formation was not punishment, it was construction, and what was constructed is the specific person that God knew you would become when He placed the call in you. You are alive, you are here, and most people will never know what it took for you to be here in this moment. Having carried what you carried through the season, you carried it through. God knows, and I want to honor it before we move into the releasing. Now I release you. I release you from the weight of the invisibility, from the specific toll of having carried something real and significant in a season where the people around you could not see it. That invisibility was not a sign that what you carry is not real. It is a design feature of the formation season. The most significant things are carried in the interior before they are expressed in the exterior. And I release you from the interior compression of invisibility. What was hidden is about to become visible. Through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether that is a coffee, a seed, or simply becoming a part of this community, there is a chosen one still carrying the invisible thing you have just been released from. The interior compression, the weight of the hiddenness, the specific loneliness of the formation season. That is still their daily experience today. What you release from the freedom of having been seen, named, and declared is the most natural response to being released. Not transaction, not obligation. The first movement of someone whose hiddenness is about to become visible is to make sure the word reaches the one who is still in theirs. Not all at once, but steadily in the way that God reveals the chosen one when the season shifts. I release you from every moment in the formation season where you felt the specific weight of being the only person in the room who carried what you carry. The specific loneliness of that, the specific discipline it took to continue carrying it without the relief of being fully known by the people around you. I release you from that weight. Now you are known by God fully, completely without qualification. And that knowing is sufficient ground for the chosen one who is about to step into what is opening. I release you from every incomplete explanation you have given to someone who asked about the call you carry. The moments where you tried to put into words something that was not yet ready for words, and the words came out smaller than the thing itself. Those moments of inadequate expression were not failures of articulation. They were evidence that what you carry was being held in the interior for the reason the interior is designed to hold things, to shape them for their fullest external expression. The expression that is coming will not be inadequate. It will be the fully formed version of what was incompletely expressed in those moments. I release you from the need to justify the length of the formation season to anyone, to explain why it took as long as it did, to defend the timeline against the questions of people who measured it against a timeline they thought was more appropriate. The timeline of the formation season is not owed an explanation. It was the specific length, and it was for specific reasons that God oversaw and that produced what needed to be produced in you. The formation was not slow. It was thorough, and the thoroughness is exactly what the scope of what is opening requires. I release you from carrying the weight of what most people will never know as a private grief. There has been a form of quiet grief in the invisibility of the formation season, in the fact that the most significant thing happening in your life was the thing least visible to the people around you. I release you from that grief. Now the arrival season will make visible, gradually, and then unmistakably, what the formation season held in the interior. The people who could not see it will see it, not because they need to see it for the thing to be real, but because the thing was always meant for expression, and the season of expression has arrived. Now I declare you are the one God knows, not as a future possibility, as a present reality. The one who was prepared, shaped, formed, refined, and equipped through the full length of the formation season for the specific assignment that is now opening. God does not say you are the one tentatively. He says it with the certainty of the one who designed the call, oversaw the formation, and knows exactly what the formation produced. You are the one, full stop. No qualification, no condition, no waiting for the external evidence to confirm what God already declared. You carry something that most people will never fully see or understand, and that is not a limitation. It is the nature of what you carry. The chosen one does not carry something ordinary. They carry something specific, significant, and shaped for a particular expression that most of the world does not yet have the frame to receive. When it comes into expression, the frame will form around it. Because the thing you carry is the kind of thing that creates its own context for being received. You are equipped for this, for what is opening, for the specific assignment that required the specific formation that you went through. The formation did not almost prepare you. It completed the preparation. And what you carry now, the original call plus the person the formation produced, is exactly what the assignment requires. Walk into it. Walk into it with the full knowledge that God knows you are the one. That the one He knows you to be is the one He prepared for, exactly what is opening. That the formation was not too long. It was exactly the right length, and what it produced is exactly right for what is next. And so it is. Amen. Type I am the one in the comments. Not in arrogance, In alignment with what God declared over you in this message, gently press the like. The chosen one who found something real here honors what God moved through. Subscribe so the next word finds you directly. God knows you are the one. Most people will never know what you carry, but God knows. And what God knows is the only knowledge that governs the arc of the chosen one. You are the one. Walk in it. Someone in this message is right at the place where receiving this declaration fully feels like the last thing they have permission to do, where the weight of what was hidden has produced a habit of not fully believing the declaration. To that person, I want to say this directly. The permission is not something you earn by waiting a little longer. The permission is what this message is. God made sure this word reached you. He knows you are the one. Receive the declaration. It is the ground you stand on. Share this with one person today who is in the formation season and needs to hear that God sees what they carry and knows they are the one. You know who they are. Send this to them. It will reach them in time. I also want to speak to what it means for the chosen one to walk into what is next fully known. Because there is something about moving from the formation season into the arrival season while being fully known by God that is different from moving forward in any other context. The chosen one who moves into the arrival season knows that they are not stepping into the unknown with a God who is watching from a distance and hoping it goes well. They are stepping into something that God designed, prepared, and is actively engaged in. He is not an observer of what is next. He is the architect and the chosen one who knows that God knows them, who knows that the God who knows them is the same God who designed what is opening, walks into the arrival season with a confidence that is not self-generated. It is God-grounded. That confidence is not arrogance. It is alignment. The chosen one who is aligned with what God designed and knows that God knows them fully and declared them to be the one, for it operates from a different interior posture than the one who is hoping they are adequate for what is in front of them. Walk in that knowing, not as a performance of confidence, as the simple factual expression of what you know to be true. God knows you are the one He prepared, the one He equipped, the one He is walking with into what is opening. And the arrival season is not the place where you prove you are the one. It is the place where the one God always knew you were walks into the full expression of what that identity makes possible. Let me say one final thing about what most people will never know. They will not know it in the formation season. But in the arrival season, as what you carry comes into expression, something will become visible that was invisible before. The specific quality of what the formation produced, the depth of the settled knowing, the resilience that does not perform itself, the compassion that was forged in the invisible carrying. These things will be visible in the expression of the assignment, and the people who encounter them will encounter something that has a quality and a depth and a groundedness that they cannot fully account for from what they can see. What they cannot account for is the formation season, the years of invisible carrying, the hidden faithfulness, the specific thing God was building in you through the whole length of the formation. They will see the expression without seeing the root. But you will know the root, and God knows the root. And that knowing, shared between you and God, is the specific ground the chosen one stands on as they step into the full expression of everything the formation prepared them for.